We've all been there. You wake up early, coffee in hand, finger on the mouse, and in less than a second, the entire summer season at Yosemite or Zion is gone.
It feels like you're fighting robots. Well, in 2026, you kind of are. So the strategy has shifted from being fast to being smart with tech. In this week's Grand Adventure, we're going to show you how we snag the unbookable spots without losing our minds. So stay tuned.
This episode of Grand Adventure is sponsored by Etrailer.com, where you'll find thousands of products for RVing, towing, camping, outdoor recreation, vehicles, boating, and more. Click the link in the video description or scan the code on your screen to shop Etrailer.com with Grand Adventure.
First off, the landscape has changed. Big news for 2026. Rainier, Yosemite, Glacier, and Arches have all actually dropped their timed entry requirements. But don't let that fool you. If anything, that's probably going to place even more pressure on the campgrounds. And your America the Beautiful Pass, if you're a U.S. resident, it's now fully digital on your phone. One less thing to drop between the seats. So with that knowledge in hand, let's dive right into strategies for scoring your dream campsite. Set yourself an e-calendar reminder for release day, but days before, log into your account at Reserve America or recreation.gov to ensure that your RV length and credit card information are already saved in the system.
When booking day arrives, and this is critical, open a precise World Clock app on your phone or in another computer window adjacent to your web browser logged into the booking site. That's because that server hosting the booking website is using the exact same time data, synced to the millisecond. By doing this, you'll know exactly when to click that Book Now button. In 2026, being half a second late often means you're out.
But unfortunately, it's not always that simple. You're probably going to have to game the system just because others are doing so too. For sites with a rolling booking window, here's an important secret. No matter how many days you want to camp, determine the maximum allowable stay and book that maximum. And then cancel the unwanted days later. For example, if the max stay is 14 days, reserve those entire 2 weeks, with the last night coinciding with the last night you want to camp. But why do that? Because if you wait until those 3 nights you want to camp become available, they've already been booked by others who reserved them 11 days earlier. You'll show up on the day of only to find the entire campground already full. But what happens if you still got skunked at 7 o'clock? Don't close that browser window and World Clock app just yet, because you still have the 15-minute rebound.
When a site turns red at 7 a.m., it doesn't mean it's sold. It means it's in someone's cart. Recreation.gov gives you 15 minutes to finish the transaction. At 7:15 a.m. exactly, the abandoned cart's released back into the wild. That is your second chance. You almost have better odds to snag a site at 7:16 a.m. than at 7 o'clock sharp.
Those are our strategies for booking high-demand campsites well in advance. But we've got some secrets to share for scoring a campsite at the last minute too, which we'll get to right after a brief message from our valued video sponsor, Etrailer.
Whether you need products for your RV, boat, trailer, vehicle, hunting and fishing, off-roading, and more, our video sponsor Etrailer has you covered. Best of all, you'll find over 100 US-based enthusiast customer service reps ready to help via phone, chat, or email, both before and after the sale. These folks have used themselves the products that you're shopping for, and you won't find a more knowledgeable team anywhere to help you with your outdoor project. Click the link in the video description or scan the code on your screen to shop Etrailer.com with Grand Adventure. Most people search for a single campsite in one 7-day block. Instead, searching for 3 days in Site A and 4 days in Site B is the secret to getting into parks like Arches or Glacier at the last minute. And know that midweek stays on Tuesdays and Wednesdays remain the golden days for last-minute availability.
But there are times that you're going to need to bring in the big guns to do the dirty work for you. In 2026, the strategy for booking campgrounds has moved well beyond fast fingers. It now involves selecting the right specific tools for the specific park system that you're targeting. People cancel plans constantly. Life happens. In order to catch those openings, you need a digital scout working for you 24/7.
That's where CampNab comes in. For a fee, CampNab will scrape the websites at recreation.gov, Reserve America, Parks Canada, and more for last-minute cancellations that meet the parameters that you set, checking as often as every 5 minutes. It monitors over 3,200 parks across the U.S. and Canada. In 2026, it's still the most reliable for those hard-to-get provincial parks and high-demand national park backcountry permits. You can make the search as broad or as narrow as you wish. You can specify the type of campsite, your preferred campground loop, or even specific sites. Of course, the more broadly you structure your search, the better the odds of finding a match. When a match is found, CampNab will send you a text message. That's when you need to act quickly to click the link in the text and reserve that booking. Our pro tips? Don't just run one scan, run several with different parameters for each. You're increasing your odds without doing any extra work. Also, set a specific ringtone for your CampNab text alert so that it doesn't just blend into the background clutter. Set it for something that will grab your attention.
CampNab works on either a pay-per-use model or a monthly membership. Individual scans start at $10. However, frequent campers will want a monthly membership to be able to run frequent multiple scans. Prices vary depending on the number of concurrently running scans and the scanning frequency, which ranges from 60 minutes to as rapidly as every 5 minutes. You can learn more at campnab.com.
Then there's strategy number 3, the park adjacent pivot. Everyone fights for the sites inside the park, but look at National Forest or BLM land just 5 miles outside the gate. You'll get more space, fewer neighbors, and usually a much better view for a fraction of the price, or even free boondocking. Our Grand Adventure episode 181 explains in detail how to find your own spectacular boondocking spots. Or use an app like National Parks or Campendium to find alternative camping right on the edge of the park boundary. A quick shout out to HipCamp or Harvest Host as the ultimate backup when all of the federal sites are red. Harvest Hosts will let members stay overnight for 1 night for free, with a small purchase from the host. HipCamp is like the Airbnb of campsites, where you can often find a place to set camp when every normal campground nearby is full. HipCamp has always been our go-to for last resort, and it hasn't let us down yet.
Booking a highly sought-after campsite in 2026 is a game of persistence and using the right tools. Don't let a sold-out sign ruin your summer. Use your rebounds, set your alerts, and always have a plan B. We hope that you found the information and the tips in this episode of Grand Adventure useful to you. If you did, please be sure to give us a huge thumbs up down below. If you're not yet a Grand Adventurer, go smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell, because we premiere new RV-centric videos each and every Wednesday. We'd be honored if you shared the channel with your friends, family, and on social media. But if you have tips about scoring a hard-to-get campsite that you'd like to share with your fellow Grand Adventurers, put them down below in the comments section, where we would love to read them. So until next Wednesday, please remember, life is nothing but a grand adventure. We'll see you then.